Alright, so in this video we will be doing 12 Algebra 1 Regents questions with my sister over here. So I'm going to be doing number 1, she does number 2, so on. So let's do number 1 together. Solve for x, 5x minus 7 equals 18. What we're going to do is we're going to just add 7 to both sides so that we get the x's alone, x variables alone. We get 18 plus 7 is 25. Negative 7 and 7 obviously cancel out, and you end up with x equals 5. So that would just be choice B.
For number 2, we have over here, simplify 3 times 2x plus 4 minus 5x. You distribute to get 6x plus 12 minus 5x. When you add the x variables together, you would get x plus 12. And that would be option A.
Alright, that's good. Alright, moving on to number 3, we have which of the following is a solution to x squared minus 16 equals 0. This was similar to the one I did in number 1. So all we're going to do is we're just going to add 16 on both sides. We're going to get the x variables alone. We're going to get x squared equals 16, which means if we just take the square root on both sides, we get x equals the positive or negative square root of 16. This ends up with what? So square root of 16 is 4, so positive 4 and x equals negative 4. So that would just be both A and C. A and C, 4 and negative 4.
For number 4, we have if y equals 2x plus 3, what is y when x equals negative 2? So here we will write y equals 2 times x, and we always put negative 2 as x. So 2 times negative 2 plus 3. That will equal negative 4 plus 3, which equals negative 1, which would be option A.
Right. Gonna scroll back to the top. We're doing number 5. What is the slope of the line passing through 1, 3 and 4, 9? So what I usually do is I draw a graph, but we'll do it two ways. We're gonna first do the normal way that you would probably see it in your textbooks, which is just y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is just a slope formula. y2 being 9, y1 being 3, x1 being 4, x2 being 4, excuse me, and x1 being 1. That would equal 6 over 3, which is just 2. This is the normal way that you would probably see most people doing it. So what I do usually is I just draw an x, y coordinate graph. It's pretty sloppy, but just hold on. 1, and you have 1, 2, 3 right over here. That would just be 1, 3. And this helps me just visualize a little better. So 2, 3, 4. And you have 9 just somewhere up here. Of course, I did not draw this to scale. You just draw the line, make like a dotted path, and always remember, slope is just rise over run, right? So that's just what? y2 minus 1, 1. The same thing, 9 minus 3, which is 6 over 4 minus 1, which is just 3. And you would get the same 2. Alright, gotcha.
For number 6, we have which expression is equivalent to x to the third all squared. When you have two exponents over here, you would multiply them to get just x to the power of 6, because 3 times 2 equals 6. And that would be option B.
Alright. Number 7 says, solve for x. 3x plus 2 is less than or equal to 11. This is the same thing as when you're in an equation. All you have to do, get all the variables on one side. You subtract 2 on both sides, you get 3x is less than or equal to 9, which means x is just less than or equal to 3, which is just option A. There it is.
In number 8, we see 4x minus 3 plus 2x plus 7. Here we would combine the two x terms to get 6x, and then the constant terms, negative 3 plus 7, which equals positive 4, which would be option A.
Alright, so now we have 4 questions left. Number 9 says, which is the solution set of x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0? So in this case, there are 2 ways to do it. I'm going to show you the only one of those ways. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is this way, which is a times b and a plus b. A times b would just be these two, well, you could say bases multiplied by each other, so negative 6 times just 1, because this is just right over here, 1x squared. So that would just be a times b, which is negative 6. And obviously this way doesn't always work, so then a plus b, which would just be this number right here. So just imagine these are just 1, so 1x, so that would just be 1. So now all we have to do is just find out what a and b are. This is a very simple one. A times b, so let's think here. Negative 3, 2, it's equal to 6. Negative 6, but negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So now we would just do 3 times negative 2. Yeah, 3 minus 2. So yeah, it would just be 3 and negative 2. So a equals 3, b equals negative 2. So all you would do is you would just do x plus 3, excuse me, times x minus 2. And this would equal 0. So when they say what is the solution set of this equation, all you would do is you would just find out for this expression, when, like, if you want this whole thing to be 0, you have to find when this expression is going to be 0, because 0 times anything is going to be 0. So x plus 3, when is it going to be equal to 0? X plus 3 equals 0, so x equals negative 3. Same with x minus 2 equals 0. So x would just be equal to 2. So this would be our solution set, negative 3 and 2. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead.
So here for number 10, we have factor completely x squared minus 9. When we are factoring, we have to remember a plus b times a minus b. This is the formula for perfect squares, which always results in a squared minus b squared when distributing. So here our a would be x, and our b would be the square root of 9, which would equal 3. So then a would be, so substituting, it would be x plus 3 over here times x minus 3, which would be option A.
Yeah. By the way, going back to number 9, I just wanted to say the other way is to complete the square, which is just to divide this one over here in the middle by 2 and square it. But that would just take a very long time, and I think this one's easier if it actually works. All right, number 11. What is the value of 2 to the third plus 4? This is okay. This one's interesting. This doesn't feel like Algebra 1 at all. But okay, 2 to the third is just 2 times 2 times 2. Do that 3 times. So 2 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8. Plus another 4, you get 12. So the answer would be just C.
Here we have solve for x. 2x over 3 equals 8. So here you could multiply by 3 on both sides to cancel out the denominator of 3. So we would have 2x equals 24, and then we would divide by 2 to get x equals 12. And to check this, you could put 12 back into x.
Substitution.
So you could do 2 times 12 over 3 equals 8, and this would be true.
Alright, that's it for this video. In the next video, we will be doing the 12 other practice regions questions on algebra. And we will see you all in the next video.